All right, I hope you're up for all this. I hope you're ready for all this. Now, what better place to begin than setting up a WordPress installation? So, what I would love to show you how to do is how to set up not only a free account on WordPress.com, which is what we will do in this exercise. So in other words, what you can do is you don't need to have a domain name registered. You don't have to have a hosting account set up with a service vendor. You can do everything for free on WordPress.com. And I'll show you how to get started with that in just a second. So that's one option. Another option, which I'll show you in the next exercise, is if you do have a hosting account set up with a hosting provider, you can certainly install WordPress that way as well. So that's another option. And then a little bit later on, I'll show you how to set up what's referred to as a local installation of WordPress. So in other words, what that means is you can actually install WordPress on your computer locally. So it's not live on the web, it's actually installed on your computer. It's extremely cool. And if you're very serious about, going further with WordPress and, really running a WordPress blog, that is probably the best option, having a local installation so that you can test new things on your local installation, maybe a slight design change that comes along, or maybe you decide you want to test a WordPress plugin or something like this. Well, you can test it on your local installation. If everything's hunky-dory, then you can just upload everything to your live site. But as I say, we will get to that in just a little while. Let's go ahead and set up our free WordPress.com account. So I find myself here inside Firefox. It doesn't really matter which browser you're using. And I'm simply going to navigate to WordPress.com. And sure enough, we wind up here at WordPress.com. This setup, this arrangement of setting up an account here on WordPress.com is very easy. Just click on Sign Up Now over in the top right corner there, Sign Up Now. And we just have to kind of fill in some fields, and that's really going to be kind of all she wrote here. So let's see here. I hope this is going to work for me here. I'm going to go 10 Ton Books for my username, and then my top secret password. There we go, and I'll confirm that password. I love this little password strength indicator. I'm only good. I'm not good enough. I'm only good. But anyway, hopefully you threw in a slightly stronger password. And then it wants an email address. I think I've used this a bunch of times, and I think I'm running out of email addresses. So I'm going to have to go with service@10tonbooks.com. All right, and then below that, legal flotsam. I have read and agreed to the fascinating terms of service. Well, I'm going to turn that on. You can read through that if you want. Just click on that link. And then this is great. I love this. Give me a blog. So in other words, it's going to be your username, whatever you typed in up here. So whatever your username is, .wordpress.com. That's going to be the URL or the address for your new blog here on WordPress.com. Or you can just say, just give me a username. Well, anyway, I'm going to click on next, and hopefully this is going to work out here. No, that username already exists. So let me try this. I must have been goofing around with this previously, but anyway, I'm going to go zap bang boom, and I'll leave the password and the confirmation there, and the email address. And so in other words, it's now going to be zapbangboom.wordpress.com. So that's my own goof up there. I've shown this to so many people. So there we have now the blog domain. So I have an opportunity at this point to change this if I want. And what's cool, by the way, I should have started off by mentioning this, is you can have an unlimited number of blogs with your WordPress.com account. It's very cool. So if you want to run a personal blog and then a company blog or something like this, you can certainly do that. Okay, anyway, I'm going to leave the defaults here. And then my blog title, you can type in whatever you want there. I'm going to change this to Geoff's blog. Okay, great. Language is English. Privacy. I want my blog to appear in search engines like Google and Technorati and in public listings around WordPress. Absolutely. Make sure that that fella's turned on there. Go ahead and click on sign up. So as you can see, pretty easy, right? Pretty straightforward. All right, check your email to complete the registration. So in other words, what happens at this point is you should be sent an email to the email address that you specified there just a moment ago on the previous page. and you need to confirm or validate, I suppose, the email address that you sent. Now, you might want to be careful here because that email, if you go to your email client and you check your email and you don't have an email, it might be in your spam box or it could be in your junk folder or something like that. So just double check. And if we don't activate our account within 2 days, we'll have to sign up again. So in the meantime, though, I'm not going to go and check my email just yet. But in the meantime, I'm going to finish my profile here. So first name is Geoff. Last name is Blake. About yourself. I like Star Trek, beer, and Battlestar Galactica. Well-rounded guy, huh? All right, I'm going to go save profile. Now, I'm going to go and check my email. Go ahead and check your email, and I'll meet you back here, and we will see how this sucker finishes off. All right, so I hope you made it back here. I found the email in my email client, and I clicked on the link inside the email, and that brought me here. My account is now active, so I hope you made it here as well. Once again, if you don't find that email inside your email program, just check inside your spam folder, inside your junk folder. All right, now that I'm here, I want to go ahead and log in. So I'll click on this login link, and that brings me to the WordPress.com interface here, this login interface. So I'll type in my username and my top secret password. All right, I'll go remember me and then log in. Okay, and here we are. This is our back end for our blog. And, Firefox wants to remember my password, this password bar here right across the top. I always go remember because I'm kind of lazy. I don't write down my usernames and passwords for all my different accounts. But here is the back end for the WordPress.com blog. And you can see there's a whole lot of action here. There's a lot going on, not only in this screen, but we have this massive menu running down the left-hand side. So we have lots and lots to take a look at here inside the interface. And we will, of course, get to all of that. Before we get to all that, though, I want to show you. So this is the back end of the blog, right? This is the administration side of the blog, if you will. What would the visitor see? Where's the front end of the blog? Well, all I need to do is I just need to point my browser to zapbangboom, or your username, .wordpress.com. Or what I can do is I can click on this Visit Site button right up in the top of this interface here, this toolbar here across the top. You know what I'm going to do, though? A neat little trick here, at least on the Mac in Firefox. In Windows, I think you can do this by holding down Control, but on the Mac side here, I'm going to hold down the Command key, and I'll click on Visit Site, and that opens up the link in a new tab, a new browser tab. And there's my front end, the front end of the blog there. And this is the default look for your blog. And we're going to get into this, but the default template, the default view or styling of your blog is what's referred to as Kubrick, the Kubrick theme. And we'll talk about getting into this and messing around a little bit. But anyway, there's the front end. There's my URL right up at the top there inside my browser address bar, and there's the back end. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll have the front end and the back end both open simultaneously. So if I make a change, maybe I add a new post or I add in a new category, or who the heck knows, make some kind of change, and I want to go and see how it looks live to the visiting public, right? So anyway, there you go. There's how to set up a free WordPress.com account. Now, again, as I stated previously, this is one option, right? This is all free too, which to me is so awesome. It's so in line with the philosophy of the internet, at least the original philosophy of the internet. Everything's free, everything's open, everything's awesome. Okay, so that's all good. Now, what if you wanted to go and set up a self-hosted WordPress blog? In other words, you want to add WordPress to your own website. Well, let's go and see how we can actually do that. So we'll go and see how to install WordPress on an existing hosting account.